back to the podcast. Guess who's back?
Back again.
It's you.
It's me.
Yep.
There was no turbulence at sea.
Back
Smooth.
from her honeymoon.
No. Motion sickness. Motion sickness is bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I had to wear those stupid little C-bands, and they hurt after a day or two, because I don't know if you've ever seen a C-band, but it's literally like this little thing that goes on your wrist that has a little nubbin that doots you right here for 17 hours. And it got to the point where if I turned my hand, it was hitting my tendon, and it was nasty.
Well,
Motion
learn
sickness.
things about cruises.
Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
Anyway, so Daphne's back
Yeah, she's
from
back.
her honeymoon.
It was
Angela's
nice.
gone.
Angela's
Yes,
gone.
and
We made her leave her dog at home today.
Yeah, my dog's not here
Because
apparently he's a distraction.
He's a
We
disturbance.
can't talk
he
about
walks
movies properly.
across everyone.
He is a dear sweet boy and he sleeps. That's all he does.
And he wheezes in the microphone.
He
Jeanette.
does. He does.
No dog. No
Yeah.
dog today.
I miss my dog. It's okay. It's okay.
My cat's here.
But yes, I am back,
Run around.
and we are ready to resume normal podcasting
Yes.
schedules.
Yes. And today, guess who's in charge? It's me. Guess what movie I chose? Guess. You don't want to guess. It's fine. It's War of the Roses. Remember that? Not the classical battle of the Tudor households. You know, with King Henry VIII.
This is exactly what we're talking about. Is some
No,
Shakespearean thing.
Not the King Henry V's kid who was late. No, not that. I'm talking about.
wasn't the same time period.
Yes, it was. King Henry
James.
Henry VIII and Shakespeare.
King Henry V's son was the guy that wasn't all that
Shakespeare
great,
wrote about
that
all
made
the old
his
kings.
England
Do you not know
bleed.
this?
The point is,
My
he wrote-
brain does not connect those centuries.
The
They're
end
no,
of
he
the-
wrote about Shakespeare.
the end of
Danny DeVito.
the end of Henry V. He's like, my son is going to make our England bleed, and that's the son that makes the England bleed in the War of the Roses.
Yes.
In the real historical War of the
Yeah.
Roses.
And Shakespeare wrote about
But
the
we're
War of the
not
Roses.
talking about
Okay,
the
but
historical.
was Shakespeare and Henry VIII in the same time period?
Henry VIII was
Shakespeare
the
was
dad
the next-
of the Queen.
Yes.
Of
Shakespeare was after Henry VIII. He was during the time
Were
of
they
Queen
alive
Elizabeth.
at the same time?
Don't think so. If they were, it was
That's
a
what
very
I
short
thought.
overlap.
Okay.
'Cause Henry VIII.
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
Talking about
We're
this
talking about
movie,
the War of the Roses, the movie.
1989.
Yes.
1989. It's got Michael Douglas. I was going to say Michael Keaton. That's wrong.
Yeah.
It's got Michael Douglas. It's
Kathleen
got Kathleen Turner in it.
Danny
Sean
DeVito was
Astin.
there.
Baby Sean
Baby Sean
Astin.
Astin.
Wee baby Sean Astin.
So cute
There.
when he's tiny. Oh my god.
He's like, what, 12?
He's
Oh,
he's
like
probably 18.
17.
He's probably a
18.
teenager
Yeah.
in that.
But
And then
he was tiny. He was
Yeah.
tiny little Sean
Yes.
Astin. And Dan Castellaneta's there. He doesn't say a single word, but he's there.
Oh,
yeah.
the guy that voiced Homer. I
The guy
figured-
that
I
voiced
Homer,
figured it
that's
out.
right, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah, he's
Homer.
there. He doesn't say a single word the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Well, he's the framing device
He's,
of
yeah,
the movie.
he's
yeah.
he comes into Danny DeVito's office, and Danny DeVito's like, "I'm going to tell you a story about why you shouldn't divorce your wife," and that's the story of the War of the
Which
Roses.
is really fucking dumb.
It
because
is.
Danny DeVito is a divorce
Like,
attorney, and
you
he's
shouldn't
like,
try to
you
divorce
don't
your
need
wife
to divorce your wife.
because maybe
Go
you'll
back
kill
and
each
love
other.
her.
Like, oh my god, no.
Yeah.
No.
For money reasons, he really shouldn't have told this whole story.
Yeah,
Honestly.
well,
Right.
like,
You know what I mean?
divorce is a good thing. Like,
Yeah, especially when you're
if
that
Oliver Rose
dysfunctional.
would have just divorced her, they
I
would
mean-
both be okay.
No spoilers or anything. It's kind of the end of the movie, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tragedy, is what it is.
It's such a,
But it's such a good movie, and Danny
It's
DeVito
really
is
good.
such a good director.
It's
with the candles though.
Well, he like the same thing with Matilda when she's coming down. Like when things are falling, he likes to do the double shot of it
Yeah.
like this with the sideways
pew
camera
pew. Yeah.
because
The
the
flames.
Trunchbull falls, and then the chandelier at the
In the
end
War
it
of the
goes
Roses.
twice.
Which
Yeah.
is
like
it's a
shoo.
big moment. It kind
And-
of deserves the shot. I'm
Well,
just saying.
no other director
I-
I can point out does something
Like,
like that
that-
I can
well,
be like,
It'd be
I mean-
something like how so many people do trunk shots.
oh yeah,
Yeah, it'd be something like
Yeah.
that. It'd be an homage to another homage to another homage to the original thing, like the Wilhelm scream being a.
oh yeah, was it in Lord of the Rings at one point?
Yes, I believe
They
an elf
fell off
fell
it.
and yeah, that same
fine.
shout.
Anyways,
Anyway, so War of
Yeah.
the Roses, right, is the story of Oliver Rose, played by Michael.
Yes, Michael
I'm going to
Douglas.
keep trying not to say
Douglas.
Keaton.
Oh my
Michael
goodness,
Douglas,
like
who
Douglas
is a
Adams.
talented
Douglas.
actor. He
He
does
is.
really well in this
He's
film.
really good.
Yeah,
And
and
then
Kathleen Turner,
he's
his
there.
But
wife.
he's always I wish I
He
could
never
watch him
plays
in
a really
something
good person.
where he's not skeevy.
He's always.
I don't know if it's just
Yeah.
Michael Douglas or if it's the characters that he picks, something about it makes Skeevy. And I'm trying to remember.
I think it's him. I don't think it's his characters. Because he's played some really nice characters.
No, but his whole point is to be a lawyer, and that's why it's easy to see why she would fall out of love with him.
Yeah.
Is because he's Skeevy.
Ignores her, and because he doesn't.
It's because she's trying to grow as a person. She's trying to do things. She's trying to be her own thing, and he's being very careless and callous about it. She writes this whole big thing, and she gives it to him to read, saying, please read this and tell me what you think. And instead of reading it, he uses it to kill a fly. And she's like, that's how you respect me.
That kind of, it's a metaphor for his disrespect towards everything else that she...
Like, he loves her. He does love her, but he does not respect her, and he does not accept her and go along with her in her personal
because
growth.
Well, he's not grateful for her.
No, he's not. She's doing
he's
all
taken
these
her
things.
for granted, and he's just
found
thinks
the
that,
house, and
since
she's
we're in
raising
love,
his
we're
kids,
fine.
and he's just kind of like, well, you're my wife because we're married, and that's how it is. And she's like, but I'm changing.
Like, you
I'm
still have to
person.
love someone as you're married. You can't just get married and then say, all right, I don't have to change myself.
Yeah, like, you're
I
going to
never
be
have
this
to
way
get
the
on a
whole
date
way
again.
the whole time, and nothing's ever going to change, and this is how it's always going to be.
You still have to care for your partner.
He just felt very entitled.
I mean, I should know. I just got married.
Right?
So,
this one knows all about the marriage
I know
now.
all about
I was
husbands.
wondering if that was going to,
No, but I'm just saying, like...
I've been married a week, I know everything about marriage.
You can't get a flower and then when it blooms go, okay, I can stop watering it. No, you still have to take care of the fucking plant.
And especially
because it's War of the Roses.
But especially if she's changing. She's trying to develop herself as a person.
Well, her kids are gone out of the house now. And so her life is different.
They go to college. They go off and do things. And so now she's not the housewife. She's not that mother
That
anymore.
is a legitimate point of the movie, is what do you do when you spend the entirety of your like late 20s and early 30s into your possible 40s, and you spent your whole life being the wife of this guy, but you've spent that time being the mother to your kids, and you've been like the stay-at-home mom the whole time, and now all of a sudden your kids are going to college and you're at home by yourself.
That job is gone.
Your
husband's at work all day.
The house was so noisy before, and then to come home to an empty house.
Yeah, it's definitely an empty nest syndrome going on. And I mean, that's the problem. She built the whole house. Like, from the day they moved in, he ditched her to go to work. So she put every piece of furniture exactly where it is. She spent the whole 20-something years building that house. And so it's like, what do you do when that's what your whole life was?
Well, because then at some point it turns into like a hobby. It turns into like an obsession of things need to be pretty. I need to collect this. I need to do everything that a mother should. And then as soon as your kids go out the window, it's like, well, what's my goal now?
Yeah.
And that's why she tries to go into the catering business, because she's like, I like to fucking cook, and I could make money, and I can make my own money instead of spending yours.
Exactly. She's trying to...
And then he doesn't support her, because...
He's very...
It's something new,
You're supposed to be my wife. You're just supposed to... That's your whole thing. That's
well,
your
he
whole
doesn't have faith
purpose.
in her.
He does not.
He doesn't have faith in her.
But the problem is that he does love her. He's not showing it properly.
They don't talk to each other, that movie. They don't talk well. She doesn't explain to him how she makes him feel. That's the only problem with this movie.
There's no communication
I'm
there.
on her side for the most of it. But then there's also you're not communicating. How is he supposed to know you don't like him anymore if you're not saying, you know what, I don't think you're caring for me the way you should.
And that's the thing.
I'm sorry.
She
literally looks him in the face and she's like, when I watch you eat, when I see you sleep.
She was too far gone for that.
To punch your face in.
She should have told him before that point.
She should have.
Because now there's no coming back from that.
Yeah, when you very first start having these feelings of I think you're maybe not respecting me fully. I think you're not supporting me fully. When she very first started having feelings, if she would have told him instead of just holding it in and building that resentment, that's the problem.
She rolled over and she was angry and she didn't talk to him, and he's like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
That's another problem. If he hadn't said, what the hell is wrong with you, if he'd said, what's going on,
she woke him up by sticking 2 fingers up both of his nostrils.
Right.
So, to be fair, what the hell is wrong with you is a pretty good question.
He's not totally at fault.
He didn't read
She's
her.
not totally the victim. It's very much you both need to work on your communication.
Both of them are at fault because he wasn't treating her correctly, but she also blindsided him with how she felt. Yeah, I want a divorce because you didn't tell him.
It's not like in Mrs. Doubtfire where
they're fighting the whole time.
They're fighting the whole time, and they have that scene and Miranda is just like, Daniel, I want a divorce, and he's like, but we love each other. Why? But she's brought this up multiple times.
And our problems would just follow us if we came back.
Yeah, they've talked about it a lot. At this point, she's done because she's tried.
Right.
In War of the Roses,
that's a good divorce. That's a good.
That's a yes. Y'all need to separate.
Right.
Divorce. This one, they also really did need to separate. It was very important that they get apart.
But if they had talked about it, it wouldn't have gotten to that level.
It wouldn't have gotten to this point. And that's the thing. The movie goes to an extreme because they...
You mean drop a chandelier on your husband? That's an extreme? What are you talking about?
Well, he
started it by boarding up the windows, bro.
So...
He boarded up the windows and doors and locked her in.
Yeah.
He fucking started
They started fighting about the house because the divorce got very contentious.
Actually, wait, who did start it? 'Cause
in fairness, okay, he started it because she told him, you need to move out. I've been here this whole time and everything.
His
and
money, but it's her house.
Had the money to move out, but he didn't want to give away the house. So he found this really obscure law back in the day, like a really obscure law. He's a lawyer, and he had Danny DeVito help him find this really obscure law about how we're going to zone off the house, and I'm going to have this time of day, and you're going to have that time of day. And it was him being controlling and not wanting to let go, and that was the real problem.
Well, just to get back at her.
Yeah,
exactly. It was really pettiness. The movie is so full of pettiness.
Yeah,
it's just absolutely. And that's the thing is, if either of them were a little more flexible. You know, and neither of them wanted to be flexible. Neither of them wanted to work with the other one.
Well, that's the thing. He got so angry about the fact that she hated him.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, well...
like he was personally...
You shouldn't have hated him. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have gone to that level before saying something. So it's like they're both...
But again, it's that thing about how women shouldn't start a problem. We should just suck it up and not tell people about it. And it's like we should. Yeah. We really need to talk to people and tell them
about it.
But we're kind of...
but then, the silent treatment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So women can't do anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So on the one hand, but that's the thing. It's like, even if you want to try and say that Oliver didn't deserve to be screwed over like that, he makes several very conscious decisions to try and ruin her life. Like, she tries to have a dinner party with all of her friends coming over, her prospective clients, because she's trying to do this catering business, right? She's trying to make her own pate and stuff, and she tries to have a fancy dinner party to have samples of all of her food. And she lies to him and says that there's an exterminator, so that you need to be out of the house. And he finds out that it's a lie, because somebody calls the house to say, hey, what time is the party? And so he finds out about it, and then he deliberately crashes it and ruins the party.
Being rude. I think he pees in the
He pees on a fish.
Yeah, he pees on the fish. Yeah. He's in the kitchen cooking.
And so he deliberately sneezes all over her food.
And he breaks her oven, which she needs to be able to cook.
He kills her cat.
Yeah, that was an accident.
That was an accident, but he still did it and didn't apologize for it.
Yeah, because he was angry at her at that point.
But they were already so mad that she would have seen it as you did it on purpose. When if he acted like, oh, I don't know, then she couldn't come after him for it.
Yeah.
So I can understand why he didn't say anything on that point. But yeah, don't pee on people's fish.
Yeah. Killing the cat, that was an accident, whatever.
But in fairness, Kathleen Turner in a previous movie cooked someone else's angelfish.
She did.
So I don't remember if you remember that.
She in The Man with Two Brains. Angelfish.
She was fighting with her other husband.
At the very beginning, in it.
Yeah, she was fighting with her ex-husband.
I love watching that vein in your temple throb,
and she murdered
his
heart
fish. Attack and dies because she killed his fish.
Yeah,
so I super forgot about that.
I really like Kathleen Turner. I think she is a talented
I wish
woman.
I had her hair.
She's beautiful.
Her hair is like this boofy, billowy,
golden, lovely, soft-looking hair. She's
a wonderful actor. My favorite thing about her is her voice. No one else has a voice like her. It's like this, raspy,
it's really sultry.
I would say husky,
yes,
right.
She was the voice of the Witch of the Waste in Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh,
yeah, because she's got that really.
It's a womanly voice.
It's sexy.
It's a womanly voice.
And I really like Kathleen Turner. I like her in movies. I like, and she does really good in this one. She's.
Oh yeah.
What was that? A Simple Wish.
A Simple Wish.
Oh God,
I love her in that movie.
She's really good.
The movie is not good, but she is great.
Well, that connects to Danny DeVito again through Matilda.
There you go. Bringing it back.
Another thing, I like Mara Wilson. I love her. She's great.
Wilson.
Yeah. Mara Wilson.
From Matilda to BoJack Horseman. Am I right? You need to watch BoJack.
Oh my! I gave up on BoJack. I gave up on BoJack.
Honestly, my favorite Mara Wilson thing is the faceless old woman who secretly lives in your home. I'm not gonna lie. I love her as the faceless old woman who secretly lives in your home. She's my favorite.
What is that?
It's from Welcome to Night Vale.
Oh,
Mara Wilson's a recurring
I thought it was
voice.
one of the things. So I know she's a writer. I
She's
thought maybe
so
you were
funny.
About something
She's
wrote.
like, "Hello, Jeremy. I'm watching you from your hallway." she secretly lives in your home and moves your stuff.
But see, Mara Wilson isn't in the War of the Roses. Bring it back.
No, she's not. Okay,
So
back to
War
War
of
of
the
the
Roses.
Roses.
Sorry, tangent.
Because Mara Wilson is a delight.
She is actually.
Yeah.
But no, Kathleen Turner is amazing as well.
Yes.
And but yeah, the major problem.
Amazing.
The major problem with this movie is that there's a fundamental breakdown, and then they don't give up. Neither one of them gives up. He's like, I'm living in this house.
If you give up,
I'm
you
living
lose.
in this house.
The other one wins
I
if you
have
give
to
up.
win, and so they just fight and
well,
fight.
because they're both
fight.
fighting over the house. He's fighting over the house for pettiness, and because it's his money that bought the house. Mm-hmm. She's fighting for the house because she's literally, that was her hobby and project for the last 20 years.
She's the one that found it in the first place.
Yeah, she found it in the first place. She got it.
Yeah.
You know,
basically for free, didn't she?
No, she bought it.
No,
but
she bought it.
She went and got it after the person that owned it died. She was going to leave a note saying, "I love your house if you ever sell."
Yeah, but didn't they give her like a ridiculous discount for it? Is what I'm saying.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure they did.
I don't remember.
Pretty sure they were like, yeah. If you...
She maybe because she lied about being a family friend to get the house.
Right. That was. She got involved. She wanted the house. She liked the house. She's the only reason they have that house, and then she's the
even
one
though
that
he has
decorated
money, so he's like, oh, well, I paid for it. So
he
it's
paid for it.
mine.
But the only reason he
like,
has it in the first place is because of her, and so they really needed to work together. They really needed to acknowledge what each other has done for this relationship and for this partnership. And that's the problem. Neither of them was really, okay, well, you did do this. I am very appreciative of that. This is also something you're doing that I don't like. We need to talk about it, and then definitely get a divorce. They needed to divorce. It was very important.
Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't have been. It would not have been if they had talked about her growing resentment. That's the problem. Mm-hmm. If she had said from the beginning, "I don't like that you're doing this. I feel that you're being disrespectful to me," then he could have said, "Oh, I didn't mean to do that," and they could have worked on that.
And then he could have worked on it.
She literally tells him, instead of doing that, she literally tells him she wants a divorce by saying, "Oh, I thought you were dead, and I was happy about it."
Well, that's how much the resentment builds
like
up.
That.
He has a heart attack. He's at a business lunch, right? Mm-hmm.
And no, it was indigestion.
It was
he thought it was a heart attack.
Yeah.
But he had problems, and he's in the hospital. He's being taken in. He's like tearfully writing a goodbye note to his wife because he loves her, and she's just kind of like, I realized that I was happier that you were maybe going to be gone, and that's so.
Well, that's what made her realize that they needed a divorce. I'd be happier if you weren't here. Then that means we need to
separate, and that's the thing. Oliver really he
loved her and he felt blindsided about it.
He loved her and felt blindsided because, like I said, he thought he was dying, and he's like, "Oh my God, my wife! Tell my wife I love her," kind of thing. And she's just, they're not on the same wavelength. Right. And even at the end when they're both lying on the ground, so many spoilers, hopping to the end, they're both, they've fallen down, okay? He loosened the bolts on the chandelier. The bolt's not strong enough to hold the chandelier by itself.
She did it to drop it on him.
She did it to drop it on him? Okay.
But then she jumps on it to get away from him. But then she
jumps on it to get away from him, and then he's like, I'm
because he literally has a crowbar.
He has a crowbar.
And he's trying to hit her with it.
Yeah, and then she's on the thing, and he's like, hold on, I'll come get you. And she's like, it'll pull you off. You'll get stuck on here.
But that's another thing. He never listens to her. She is smarter than him. She has more street smarts than him.
And she says,
because he's a lawyer,
it's too heavy. You can't hold it.
Do you know
something?
He's like,
no, I can do it.
Do you know something? If she had not been a gymnast, she would have died halfway through this movie. Yeah? He pushed her down the stairs once, and she literally, if she had not been a gymnast growing up, she would have literally died halfway through this movie.
Yep.
But instead she dies at the end because chandelier.
Because spoilers. Dramatic fall. But that's what I was going to say, is they have this moment at the end that's just absolutely heartbreaking. They're both lying on the ground, and his last act as a human being is to reach for her hand, to try and... His shoulder.
Her shoulder, yeah.
He reaches for her, and she shoves him away, and that's the end of them.
Yeah,
it's symbolic.
He puts his hand on her shoulder, and then he dies, and then she reaches up like she's gonna hold his hand too, and then she shoves it off at the last second.
Yeah,
and that's the end of the fucking movie.
It's so sad.
It's so
because
sad.
Even in that moment, even in that very last moment, he's still trying to reach for her because he loves her.
And she's like, "Don't fucking touch me, dude."
And it's just that's the saddest.
I mean, to be fair, like
movie.
10 minutes before he did try to rape her.
Well,
in the attic.
Yeah.
So I mean,
It got to a very bad point. He
pinned her down, and they were going insane, and then she bit him on the wiener like he deserves.
She bit him because, yeah.
I don't think that was the same day. I think you're missing.
No, they were in the attic.
That was the same day. That was in the attic.
She was hiding in the attic. That's why she was up there.
They were both half naked because it was freaking hot. Because
he turned off the AC to kind of.
So do you see what we're saying? It kind of builds.
It builds.
Oh yeah.
Into a bit of a.
Oh yeah.
I mean, in fairness, she tried to kill him too that one time when she locked him into the.
They're both trying to kill each other.
Sauna?
Yeah,
she does lock him.
She locked him into the sauna, but then she let him out. She was like, you know what? We need to just break up.
Well, she locked him in the sauna because she thought he killed her cat.
Yeah.
That's why. And then she lets him out and she walks up the stairs crying because she's like, I want to kill you, but I can't. That's so frustrating to me.
I'm just so frustrated. I can't actually
I
kill you.
have feelings for Kathleen Turner. I really, this movie, like, I'm on her side mostly.
For the most part. The only thing that I'm against her for is that she did wallow in that resentment and didn't try to voice any of her problems before it became too hard. You know,
but then again, isn't she a child of the 60s?
Honestly,
when you kind of,
as a woman, right?
Yeah, when is the story set? Because isn't it set a little before the 80s? It's set a
little before.
So
but you're not supposed to make waves. You're supposed to, you're supposed to be kind. You're supposed to be soft. You're supposed to be
And
gentle.
that's what I'm saying. Isn't it partially a cultural thing?
That could be part of it, is that she's fighting against this resentment because she's not supposed to be feeling it in the first place.
Well, that's the thing. He is classier than she is. And that's why there's a fight between them in the first place, because they have a dinner party and she's trying to talk about this relatable, haha, you remember those little cups we used to have when we were little that were chipped?
Yeah.
And these rich bitches at the table and Michael Douglas are like, what the fuck are you talking about? I've had money in my fucking binky when I was growing up. Like, you know what I mean?
So, yeah, there's class struggle.
And so
there's
class struggle, plus
men versus women.
Because of that, I think that might be a reason why he doesn't respect her enough to listen to her. Because he thinks that because she's not as classy as him, that he is smarter. Yeah. And because he's the one that got her into the antiquing and everything anyway.
Well, they met antiquing.
They met finding this piece. Yeah. He was
yeah, but didn't she only go in there because of the ring? Wasn't she only there for the ring?
She saw it and she thought it was really pretty, and he saw it and he knew it was worth a lot of money.
But he knew the value of it. Yeah. She didn't.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, so overall, I think it's a good movie because it's about relationships, but it's a sincere.
It's a very serious, sad movie. Like at the end of the movie, your stomach will be like twisted because it's a tragedy.
It's absolutely, and like I said, that moment where she throws his hand away, it's just like that's your whole relationship.
Like the glass clinkles and everything, and it's
and it's because you can understand both sides. Like they're both partially wrong, but they're also partially right, and that's why you can understand. I feel bad for Baby Sean Astin.
Baby Sean Astin.
He gets to come home to, both of your parents are dead.
Yeah. Your house is destroyed.
Danny DeVito be like, so little Timmy.
Yeah.
Like, how do you, I mean, I know he was like 20 at that point.
It must have sucked for, and
it did take Danny DeVito half an hour to get the fucking ladder.
In fairness, though,
it did take him.
Is the ladder? Like, where do you keep a ladder? They have a really big house. It's probably in a garage.
Dude, it's on the right side over there where he ran over the cat. I know exactly where it is. How come Danny DeVito done?
What if it was locked? I'm just saying. What if they had to get in?
He runs across the camera like, we're coming! And they're dead on the ground, and it's like, it's this funny little comedic thing, but also it's fucking sad because you're fucking late because you couldn't find a ladder within the 20-minute time frame you had.
It is a comedic movie. There are comedic moments, but it's very dark. It's not a lighthearted comedy at all.
Oh, no.
And
no.
Yeah.
And there's the part where you actually think that she cooked the dog.
Yes. She acts like she cooked the dog.
She pretends to piss him off because she killed her cat, and so she makes the pate, and she's like, oh, try it. And it's this really tense scene because they're supposed to be making up. You know, she left him a letter, and they have like a candlelit dinner and everything. Here's your fucking dog. And she like feeds him the dog.
It's because he tried to say we should get back together, and she's like, I don't want to talk about it. And he keeps pushing her. And again, if he hadn't kept pushing her.
Right. He doesn't listen to her. He doesn't respect her voice.
He wants his life his way.
And that's why she goes a little bit too far, and she's like, I killed your dog because you killed my cat. And it gets very intense.
And then he flips the table, and it's very scary. I don't like watching boys flip tables. I don't know. It might be because of Moonstruck.
It might be.
Maybe. I don't like watching boys
Nicolas
flip tables.
Cage, why'd you ruin Daphne's life?
It's scary.
Anyway,
well, that table's a massive table, and he screams as he does it.
The thing about when men do big, violent things like that, especially in movies, but in general, when people flip tables, punch walls, break things when they're angry, psychologically what they're doing is they're saying, I would really be punching you. I would like to be punching you.
Right.
This is the anger that I'd like to be taking out on you. This is the force with which I could take it out on you. You need to fear me. It's very much a threat. It's very much a you need to fear me right now thing, and that's how come you don't like the flipping of the table, because it's 1,000% a threat.
But also that shot is really good because it's kind of a lower.
The directing
shot.
is great.
Danny DeVito.
He's a great director.
Yeah. Cinematography wise, like it's fucking killer.
Yeah.
So anyway, we should wrap it up.
It's killer.
Yeah, we should wrap it
Okay,
up.
well, I tried to, and you guys kept going. Sorry.
Because it's such a good movie.
It's a movie.
hard not
It's
to
long
talk
and
about it.
complex.
Like it's
Yeah.
the
It's like a 2-hour
characters.
movie.
The characters are so good, and they're so
The
complex
script
with
is
each other.
solid. It's really
so
well
good.
written. The dialogue is real. The people feel real. It's an excellent movie.
Yeah,
It's
and
an
all the little
A-grade
pieces
movie.
build
And there's
together.
teeny tiny bits of comedy in there too.
Yeah.
Enough to keep
It's
you
not tragic.
She's like,
the
"Oh,
whole
my
way
house
down.
is on fire." "Oh yeah, me too, babe." "No, get off me!" It's funny.
Because there's
Yeah.
literally a flame.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Christmas tree caught on
Christmas
fire
tree's on
because
fire.
Michael Douglas doesn't fucking listen.
Michael Douglas doesn't listen.
So I
She
feel like
said,
that's
"Don't do
Daphne's
it."
critique. Michael Douglas should have
He
listened.
doesn't listen.
Jeanette's critique is Kathleen Turner is amazing.
Yes.
And my critique is, and also Danny DeVito. So I think we're all in agreement.
all in all,
Yes,
the acting
all
is
in all.
Baby Sean Astin.
Yes, baby Sean Astin.
Fuck the girl, apparently. I don't know. Who is she? We always talk about Sean Astin. He has a sister, you know.
Did the sister go on to be in Lord of the Rings?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Did the sister go on to be an Encino
You're
Man?
not
Did
valuable
the sister
enough.
end
Encino
up saving
Man.
the entirety of Middle Earth?
With
I don't think so.
with Brendan Fraser. Remember the
Oh my
time that
God, I
Encino
remember
Man?
that time. With
Anyway,
Brendan
okay.
Fraser.
Anyway,
So,
overall, we liked it. We liked it.
Overall,
We liked
watch
it.
this fucking thing
It's
and
a
be
really
sad
terrific
because
movie.
it's
It's,
really good.
so heartbreaking. It's so sad. It's a beautiful movie, though. It's really
Danny
well
DeVito.
made.
And Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
Okay, we're gonna end this thing now. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any recommendations,
May
what's
is going to be Guilty Pleasure Month. We're
Yes.
going to talk about
Oh, that's
movies
right.
that
Next
are,
week
they're deliberately
starts
bad and
Guilty
we're going to love
Pleasures,
it.
right?
Yeah, next
And
week.
I should start that one.
Yes.
Right?
It's
Yes,
Daphne's turn.
My turn.
Guilty Pleasure Month. We going to have fun with it. Yeah,
To
yeah.
figure out
we
what
have a
we're doing.
list.
We kind of have a
Kind
list.
of.
Kind
We keep
of.
trading it out because
Yeah, we
there's
keep
so
picking
many.
because
It's like, wait a second, I have a worse one. Yeah.
well, that's the problem. Like guilty pleasures, the whole thing about guilty pleasures. I want to talk about this before we even do anything.
We need to wrap
The
it
whole
up.
problem with I want to talk about next month. The whole problem with us choosing guilty pleasures is that some movies we love so much that we can't call them guilty.
Yeah.
Like they're just so good
Yeah.
that we can't say it's
And
a
it
guilty
can't be
pleasure.
they're so bad they're good, because those aren't guilty. I'm enjoying it because it's bad.
Right, so you have to.
It has to
we're
be-
struggling trying to find a good
It's
movie.
a really fine line.
that
It's very
yeah,
specific.
Yeah.
It's specific.
But that's what we're going to be doing next month.
next
yeah.
week.
So I'm going to sign off now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. This has
Okay.
been
Thank you
great.
for watching,
Good
and we've
discussion.
got a list of things we're going to do. But if you have any suggestions of stuff you'd like to hear us talk about, comments.
Yes.
Comments, please.
Comments.
We could do
Congratulate
some
her on her
assistance.
wedding. That would
Wedding.
be nice. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't fucking hear anything. Okay. Why even talk to you? Why even ask you? You're not going to talk to me.
Wow. All right.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you for
Okay.
this.
Bye.
Bye.